Welcome to the Daily Coach's Sports Leadership Lessons, a reading of some of our greatest hits from more than 6 years of email newsletters that have been read by tens of thousands of leaders and learners. If you want our latest newsletter delivered to your inbox every day, you can subscribe for free at thedaily.coach/subscribe or follow the link in the description. Aristotle and the transcendent third, the invisible bond that holds us together. Aristotle, one of the greatest philosophers of ancient Greece, laid the foundation for much of Western philosophy, ranging from metaphysics and ethics to politics and logic. Educated at Plato's academy, Aristotle developed his own distinctive approach that diverged from his teacher's idealisms. His work delved into the empirical and practical aspects of life, promoting observation and categorization as tools for understanding the natural world. This emphasis on empirical inquiry eventually led him to establish the Lyceum in Athens, a school where philosophy and science were studied together in a systematic manner. Aristotle's approach was deeply interdisciplinary, encompassing biology, drama, rhetoric, and it allowed him to develop insights that remain influential in a variety of fields. One of his most profound insights relates to how we make bonds with others, what drives commitment, and what makes relationships both personal and professional last. Aristotle believed that for any partnership to stand the test of time, there must be a third element each party attaches themselves to, something stronger than love. He called this element his transcendent third principle. This transcendent third occurs when two parties are bound together by something greater than themselves, something that transcends everyone involved. Without it, the relationships devolve into shared egotism and eventually dissolve. Think for a moment of all the friends you've had over the years that you're no longer close in contact with. The dissolution of those relationships may have occurred because there wasn't a third-party foundation for the friendship. And the same applies to leadership. As a leader, if you don't have a third-party attachment, people won't deeply connect to your messaging. The best leaders create a third party. What's vitally important is that this third party must have a meaningful impact beyond the obvious. When former 49ers coach Bill Walsh spoke about how the process comes before the final result and how the score becomes meaningless, he was using the process as his transcendent third. He made his players fall in love with the standard of performance, held each accountable, and bonded the team to something that existed outside of the relationship itself. Leaders can't designate an opponent as a third element. That changes too much. Nor can business leaders use the P&L sheet as the third element. It's part of day-to-day operations and transactional. The third element must be something transformative, something that perpetually bonds the two parties together. Creating a third element requires intentionality, vision, and a deep understanding of shared values and goals. And that starts with identifying a common purpose or principle that transcends the individuals involved. This could be a mission, a philosophy, an overarching objective that everyone can rally behind. And importantly, it must inspire and motivate on a level that goes deeper than self-interest. Once identified, the third element must be woven into the fabric of the relationship and leadership dynamic. It requires constant reinforcement through actions, language, and culture. We can introduce rituals or practices as a way to reinforce this transcendent third. Regular reflections on progress, storytelling that highlights impact, celebrating moments, and so on. And finally, to make the third element truly transformative, it needs to evolve and adapt while maintaining its core essence. As circumstances change, the third element should grow in meaning, continuing to bind the parties together through relevance and importance. By cultivating this transcendent principle, leaders and individuals can forge partnerships and teams that endure the test of time, fueled by a purpose that's greater than themselves. Thanks for joining this episode of The Daily Coach. On behalf of Michael Lombardi, Coach George Raveling, and the entire Daily Coach team, we're grateful for your support. Remember, the most important person you will ever lead is yourself. Keep growing, keep learning, and most importantly, keep showing up.